Aaron Donald was seen what looked to be using a helmet as just a weapon, quite frankly, point blank, period. And it's not the first time we've seen this with Myles Garrett doing it to Mason Rudolph a few years back. And we know that he got suspended and was heavily ridiculed for that. Now, with this happening in the preseason, this happening at practice, and just quite frankly, it being Aaron Donald of all people, do you think the repercussions are going to come from this?
Yeah, I think there should. The way that I see it is that Aaron Donald should be suspended for what he did in this joint practice between the Rams and the Bengals. You can't just rip somebody's helmet off and just start bashing Bengal players in the head with a helmet. I understand that one thing may have been said, and it led to another thing, and it led to this full blown fracas where the end result was Aaron Donald hitting people in the head with a helmet. But you have to let that go and you have to get your emotions in check or else it leads to results like this. And I understand that the Bengals and the Rams may have bad blood based on what happened in the Super Bowl last year. The Rams were the last team to beat the Bengals last year in Super Bowl 56, and it's the first time that they met up and they had these joint practices the last couple of days. And then this joint practice specifically, there were three separate incidents. The video that everybody saw on social media was the last one that took place that essentially ended the practice. And obviously, when you have both teams just going back and forth like that, where there's a huge scrum and pretty much everybody's involved in it, it's going to lead to a poor result. And that's exactly what happened in this case with Aaron Donald. And when I look at Aaron Donald is one of the most impactful defensive players that we've seen in this generation. It is very safe to say that he may be one of the greatest defensive talents in NFL history. But this is a really poor reflection on him. Letting his emotions get to him is not the best look. And to be one of the leaders, not only of the Rams, but in the NFL to a larger extent, to behave in this manner, it's just a poor reflection on what he did. Do I think this is what indicates his character overall? No, he let the emotions get to him and he should have backed off, but that's what happens when you get into a fracas. But I want to look at this practically for a second. Take this out of the realm of football for a second. Had this just been everyday life where somebody used a tool like this, doesn't even have to be a helmet, it could be anything, and you just started bashing somebody's head with a tool, it could be a helmet, it could be anything that you can think of, more than likely you're going to get arrested, you're going to go to jail, and you're going to be charged with either battery or assault. It's going to be that type of outcome. Now, I'm not saying that Aaron Donald should be arrested. I'm just saying that when you look at it in the scope of the NFL, people can look at the situation and like, damn, like that's kind of like assault. It was a fight that got out of control. Aaron Donald let his emotions get the best of him, and more than likely he's going to be suspended because of this. So, yeah, it's a bad look for the Rams. It's a bad look for Aaron Donald. And the best way I think they can go about it is see what sort of suspension or some sort of penalties are going to be levied against him. We do have precedent when it comes to these types of incidents in the past. And Myles Garrett got suspended 6 games in a similar incident where he ripped Mason Rudolph's helmet off and then bashed his head with it. So I don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Donald. I'm of the mindset that he's going to get suspended, but we'll see how the Rams handle it. We'll see how the NFL handles it. But I think anything less than a suspension here is a slap on the wrist. He should be suspended for what he did.
You're not wrong at all. I was talking about this with Kyle a few minutes ago. This is one of the main reasons I kind of have an issue with joint practices. Granted, fights happen in your own team locker room, they happen on the field, they happen in practice with your own teammates. But when you put two teams together going at it in the hot summer months, literally being stuck going against each other in reps, I feel like there's a difference of this isn't my teammate. There's not that barrier of me and him wear the same uniform. Me and him are brothers. Like we're fighting right now. We may swing some fists, but it's like there's a line you don't cross in team practices, I feel like. And again, I'm only speaking from my own opinion. Now, when you put another team in front of you, point being this happens to be the team that the Bengals just lost to in the Super Bowl, there's a little bit of bad blood, a little bit of saltiness. I mean, this could have been a player that wasn't even on the roster during the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying the teams themselves had 3 fights today in practice. This is an issue that I have because when you have fights that leads to injuries, when you have injuries that leads to suspensions, when you have all of these different outlying circumstances, it's like, should we even be doing this? I understand the point of it. I understand it's to give your offense and your defense a different exposure, to give you guys different looks so you can, practice against other teams. It's supposed to be in good spirit. But I mean, lately, let's be honest, we've been seeing some serious stuff go on the last couple of seasons in terms of fights in joint practices that have gotten a little bit more heated over the years. And this is a prime example. And Aaron Donald, like Kyle alluded to, should know better by a mile. I mean, he's been a professional for a long time now, and there's no excuse for using a helmet or any sort of weapon at this juncture in time. But here we are. And, maybe the take I'm having is a little bit on the soft side. But personally, I just think if we were to eliminate these practices and just have them play against each other in the preseason, I think that's going to be enough, in my opinion. Again, that's just what I think.